Welcome back, my green loving community. So today I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite plants right now, earmuffs to all of the fiddles in the room, but I am really loving the variegated rubber tree. Let me tell you what, the variegated rubber tree is a touch of pink, a splash of cream, and a cup full of green. The foliage is so unique and so beautiful. It's like a little bit of camouflage. So if you're looking for something that can literally pop from the other greenery that you have in your home, I actually suggest the variegated rubber tree. It's one of my favorite plants right now because most of you who actually want large tropical plants in your homes, I believe the rubber tree is probably your best bet. The beauty of this plant is that it can grow up to 25 feet in the right environment. If you guys have that, I'm sure you probably actually live in a greenhouse. Honestly, it's just about care level. What you give to them, they give back. They're not really a finicky plant like the fiddle leaf fig or ferns or the majestic palm. Let's talk about light. There's different types of light that it can actually thrive in. That goes from bright direct sunlight, bright indirect sunlight, or just medium light. Anything lower than that, you don't want to have a rubber tree in that space. Now let's talk about how you're gonna water this plant. This particular plant loves to be watered when the top 2 inches of soil are completely dry. Now what does that mean, completely dry? How do you know that? Well, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your index finger and you're gonna stick it right into the dirt. When you pull your finger out, if the soil just falls off, it is time to water it. If it's sticking to your finger, if the soil is sticking to your finger and your finger's kind of muddy, that means to give it some time. Now, when you're watering it, what you want to do is, if you have a pot, obviously, that has drainage hole, you're going to make sure you water it all the way through so that the water comes out of the drainage hole. If you don't have a drainage hole in your pot, well, it's just going to be a bit harder for you to tell exactly when you've given your plant enough water. I suggest pots with drainage holes. We talked about that in the past, so go check out that video. Let that water sit in that base tray for about 15 to 30 minutes so that the roots in the soil that didn't get a chance to actually soak up some of that water can do so in that time frame. But after that, if there's still water in your base tray, what you're gonna wanna do is, you wanna take that plant, lift it off the base tray, and take that base tray to a sink, tub, wherever, window, toss it out, and then place the plant back. Let's just say your rubber tree has grown to 25 feet. Well, I don't know why you're watching this because you're obviously doing a wonderful job taking care of your rubber tree. But what I would say is if it is a larger plant, what I do for some of my larger plants once I water them and the water hits the base tray is I take either a towel, wrap that around the base tray and soak up all that water, then take that towel to the sink or to a bucket and wring it out. Or you can take a baster, like a turkey baster, chicken baster, and suck all that water out. Third, you're gonna want to make sure that you are tending to the plant. Now I've talked about that a lot in the past too, and obviously if you're in love with greenery and you have a lot of plants in your home, you're probably already doing that. But for those of you who don't, and for those of you who haven't really thought about it, tending to your plants means getting in there, wiping the leaves down, checking for bugs. You want to just make sure that you're spending some time, maybe once every 2 weeks, just sitting there and wiping the plants down, just to take off that layer of dust. It also helps to give more exposure to the leaf surface itself. So the more light that the leaf surface can be exposed to, the better the plant will do. Fourth, let's talk about best times to repot your plant. And a lot of you are like, when do I repot my plant? How do I know when to repot my plant? So for the rubber tree, what you're gonna do is you're gonna repot it when you see the roots coming out of that drainage hole of your pot. Now, if you're carrying it still in the nursery pot or just in the pot that you have, once you see those roots creeping out of the drainage hole, that's when you know it's time to repot. If it's winter, if it's fall, you're gonna wait. You're gonna wait to repot. The best time to repot your plants are definitely spring and summer. It's just the best time because it's growth season. So your plants are already energized and ready to produce more. And you have that energy to do so. Some plants go dormant during that time. So in spring and summer is always the best time to repot a plant. Spring and summer, bring me to tip number 5, fertilization. You wanna fertilize your plants during spring and summer. You wanna fertilize that rubber tree so that it can produce or can help produce those new leaves so that it can look beautiful throughout spring and summer, and so that once winter comes again, it can be strong and ready to hold on to what it produced throughout those months. So yeah, that's what it takes. to make sure your variegated rubber tree stays looking. I hope this helps. Have fun.